how do you work out when you're traveling and you got a gym that looks like this? I'm going to show you how. Follow along. Traveling, depending on your schedule, it's not always easy to get out and find a gym wherever you're going. A lot of hotels do have gyms, so if you can book one with a gym, that's awesome. And a lot of them will always have cardio equipment, so we can always start it off. We can always get our steps in. We can always get some cardio in. So I'm going to start here with this workout and see where it takes me. Got a little sweat going, got the heart rate up, but cardio is great and all, and worst comes to worst, always make sure you get some activity in. So if you can't think of anything else, get your cardio in when you're traveling if you can. But let's see what else we can do, because we got other goals. It actually goes up to 200 pounds. So I can do a ton with this. Let's break it down and see what we can do on this machine to really get a good workout. Face pulls. Anytime I'm doing some upper body work, I'm going to get my upper body activated a little bit. I like to go with face pulls, get the postural muscles activated, and then I can even do some straight arm pull downs here. I can even walk it in. Now get my elbows, triceps warmed up. So I'll just do a little circuit of this just to get the upper body warmed up and ready to go. Or exactly what you need. I don't always recommend circuit training, but I like to, just kind of build little circuits, especially if I don't have as much weight. I can move a little bit faster. I can get a little bit more in. If you're traveling, maybe you don't want to waste too much time in the gym. So putting together big giant sets, supersets, circuit style strength training is actually really useful in a place like this at a time like this. So utilize that wisely, get the work in that you want, and get after it. Especially in a hotel gym when you don't have a ton of weight, is to train your back. Obviously, the cable machine is going to help with that. If you do want to train some back, if you have a pull-up bar in the gym, even if it's not always the best pull-up bar, it's good to have. If you can't do pull-ups, I recommend always having a band on you. This is really easy to pack in a bag. Have a band on you so that if your gym does have a pull-up bar, you can still train some back even if you don't have a ton of weight. Out how to adjust your program. Just get in, train the muscles that you want to hit them to failure, and go hard. Let's say we want to train our chest. There's only so much we can do on a cable machine, or we're not lucky enough to have a cable machine and we got a rinky-dink pile of dumbbells. Let me show you a couple things we can do to make chest training harder if we don't have enough weight, or any training really. This kind of goes for anything, but I'm going to show you with chest. So we'll start out. We're just going to slow the tempo down. So no matter what weight you pick, if you go slow enough and push it to failure, really slowing down that eccentric, increasing range of motion, get a full stretch of the chest, press it up. That's really going to help us make this harder. Then again, we train this to failure. No matter how much weight we're doing, eventually we're going to get some good work out of it. The other thing we can do on these super slow reps is we can utilize a pause in that stretch position. So in the hardest part of the lift, we're going to pause, hold it, maybe a little longer than you normally would, and then press it up. So we utilize those slow reps with the pauses to really make this very difficult. And this can really make any weight feel challenging after just a few reps. So really focus on slowing it down. Utilize some pauses in that lengthened position if you can. And that'll really help you make the most out of whatever set of dumbbells you got. Let's say we get really bored going super slow and pausing all the time. And again, we want to be more efficient with our workouts. So if we don't want to do that, remember that band I told you to bring wherever you go? Grab this band. We're going to make this a little bit harder as well. So you wrap that band around here. I'm going to sit back with these dumbbells. Now, it's going to be really hard at the top. I can go nice and slow down. It's even pulling a little bit more on me down, so I can slow it down even more. Ooh. Really trying to pull, really fighting that. And then we press up. It gets really hard at the top. So again, pushing this closer to failure, we can make that really, really difficult and get a lot more out of our light dumbbell work adding a band here. Now, we know we can do something like flies even with some light dumbbells and still get really good work because we're going to get that extra stretch. Again, slowing the tempo down, utilizing pauses. But again, that can be boring, that can be time consuming. So let me show you one other technique we can use here on flies. It's going to be 1.5 reps. So we're going to come down, halfway up. So extending that time in the stretched position, then all the way up, all the way down, stretch, hold, halfway up, all the way down. So just extending that time in the stretched position, still staying nice and slow in that eccentric, even getting a little bit of pause in that stretch, coming halfway, all the way back down and back up. So we can use 1.5 reps on a lot of things, especially leg exercises. We can use these on really any exercise, but I love it here for flies, just to get that real good pump in the chest, no matter what kind of dumbbell you got. Getting too fatigued. So not everything has to look absolutely perfect when you're not in your environment, in your gym. It doesn't have to look exactly the same. We just want to keep the muscles working so that we don't get too out of our routine. The muscles don't get too out of their routine, and then we come back and we get super sore when we get back from a vacation or a trip or something like that. So we're just trying to keep the muscles working and get as much work as we can in. I got another cool technique for you guys. So even though I said this stack went up to 200 pounds, I'll tell you right now, it's a really light 200 pounds. So this is pretty easy even with the full stack. So I'm going to show you what to do to make that harder and a little bit more fun. So I just took that set to failure. That was 25 reps. Now I'm going to wait about 10 to 15 seconds and I'm going to do another set right away. My goal is to get 25. Even if I have to rest, I'm going to keep resting 10 to 15 seconds every time I fail until I get another 25. That was 12. So now I got 13 more to go. I'm going to keep resting, go into failure until I can get to 25 again. You do that, then rest about 1 to 2 minutes, do it again, and do that about 3 or 4 times, and you got a hell of a set for you. So I want to show you guys a cool trick. With this V-bar. So since I don't have a cuff like I normally would use for lateral raises, I can use this V-bar so that I can still have the tension here, take the stress out of my forearm so I don't have to utilize my grip. I can really isolate the lateral delt and really get these lateral raises and get the most out of them. So if you have this and no cuff, it's still a great way to do cable lateral raises. You might already know this trick, but I had the opportunity, so I wanted to show it to you guys. Cable lateral raises are a great exercise no matter the amount of weight. Because of that tension and the lengthened position, you can go as slow as you want. You can take it to failure. You can even do half reps here, some lengthened partials. Just really get the most out of your lats or your lateral delts. Excuse me. Tired. You can see here, got a hell of a sweat in just that little gym workout. So even without a ton of weight, there's things you can do to get a great workout in. And really, it's always about just how hard you're willing to push yourself. So you can't out-finesse training hard or outsmart training hard. So train hard, and also whenever you travel, take the steps, get as much activity as you can. Get your steps in, always just keep moving.